Hey, I'm Shane from Shane Smith Law. I'm here today with Alex, one of our attorneys here, and we're talking about one of the cases he worked on where he got a great result for one of our clients. We just want to dig into that a little bit more and talk about it. So Alex, how did this accident occur we're talking about today?
So what happened was the adverse driver ran a stop sign and our client, BG, she just was struck.
Now, that's always one of my fears, and I've had passengers with me get frustrated because I will sometimes slow down. I'm not going to stop if I don't have a stop sign, but I'll sometimes slow down if I'm concerned. If I see another car coming and I don't think they're going to, I get concerned because we see accidents like this all the time. Are they going to stop or are they not? In this particular case, they didn't stop.
Yeah, it was worst nightmare come true.
Now, how bad was the impact here? Because some impacts are a little more than others.
So it was a pretty significant impact. She struck this individual at 55 miles an hour, and fortunately, she thought she was actually perfectly fine at the scene of the crash. Then she got out of the vehicle, and she realized that she couldn't walk.
So I guess the adrenaline was going so strong, she thought she was fine, and what happened? She got out of the car and fell down?
Yeah, pretty much.
What was her injury?
So actually, she completely fractured her ankle.
Okay, so that's a very severe injury. Were they able to cast it and fix it, or did she require surgery?
So she required surgery, so they casted it at the hospital, and then they scheduled her for surgery a week later.
Okay, wow. So that's a huge impact to her for at least, I would say, 8 to 12 weeks while this surgery heals. What kind of surgery do they have to do?
So they actually needed to install 3 screws and 3 plates in her ankle and in her foot to ensure that she could walk again.
So Alex, did she recover totally from the surgery, or how is that going?
So unfortunately, she isn't fully recovered from the surgery. As pretty much with any surgery, it's a lifelong impact, but she is on pace to recover as well as medically possible at the moment.
And I know when you talked to her, she was very happy with the results and how everything was progressing in her case.
Yeah, she was very happy.
Were you able to get this case resolved, or what happened there?
Yeah, so we're actually able to get this case resolved. We got the policy limits tendered, and health insurance actually didn't pay for $12,500 of the surgery.
So she had a deductible or some other medical bills outstanding, and I know we talked about it, and you considered fighting over this bill one of the key wins in this case here. So tell me, how did that go?
Yeah, so one of the services we provide is getting reductions on your medical bills. And so we actually got that $12,500 bill reduced down to $350 as full and final.
So you got the hospital to sort of write that off?
Yes, correct.
Now that sounds like a huge impact, because that extra money, where does that go?
That goes right into her pocket.
So I'm gonna guess she was happy with the result of that.
Oh, she was ecstatic.
Oh, wonderful. And I'm glad she's recovering and doing well. I know ankle surgery is a huge deal. I know some people who've had that, and I know the impact it has. But it sounds like you're able to do a great job, getting the insurance company to offer all their money that they had on this particular case, and then fighting with the, some of these outstanding bills and convincing the hospitals. At least the nice thing to do would be to reduce that bill significantly down.
Yeah, and I'd say for the viewers, sometimes the fight isn't with the adjusters, it's with the providers.
I'd have to agree, because that's probably where most of the fight was in this particular case.
Yeah, absolutely.
For our listeners out there, if you'd like hearing about client victories from Shane Smith Law, hit like and subscribe to get more client victories. And remember, if you're in pain, call Shane, 980-999-9999.
In pain, so I call Shane, 980-999-9999. In pain, call Shane.